All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thanks again. This is the No Joe Experience. Bit of a different show this week. We've actually got a special guest, Benji, here, but I'm Noah. This is Johan. Welcome. How you going, boys? So we do have a bit of a different show here this week because we've got Benji with us joining, and we're also actually all together in the same room. So we're having a little bit of issues with microphones crossing over. So we're going to have to try and mute us as we're going. But Benji, welcome aboard, man. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks, Noah. Technical difficulties aside, doing pretty well. Nice to meet you. Somehow we're related, so second cousins twice removed, something like that. So good to meet you in the flesh and to be here with you boys.
Yeah, I think that's the go. Generally, anything related to the coast, everybody seems to be related. There's something there. How you doing, Johan? Welcome, man.
Yeah, no, doing pretty good. Yeah, a bit of a busy, hectic week. But yeah, good to catch up with you and do a podcast in person, and same with Benjamin. Good to catch up with him before he, jumps on the plane and heads over to the big wider world of Australia. Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, that's great. So next time in future, we'll be doing it across country. That'll be great as well. Good fun. All right. Well, I thought it'd be fun. We'll talk about some things as usual. First one we have this week. So we've got this story coming from The Guardian. So a man facing jail over theft of almost 200,000 Cadbury cream eggs. I can't even get the word out right. I'm starting to salivate a bit here. Chocolate thief is facing jail after admitting he stole almost 200,000 Cadbury cream eggs in a heist worth more than £31,000. Joby Poole, dubbed the Easter Bunny by police, used a stolen lorry cab to make off with chocolate after breaking into a Telford industrial unit with a metal grinder on Saturday. I just love this, that he went into all this effort. He stole a truck, but stealing a truck wasn't enough for this man. This man was on a mission. He had to go to the steps to get 31,000 pounds of Cadbury cream eggs. Desperate times. Everybody else in the world is trying to track down some eggs, like actual eggs, but this man is really intent on going after the chocolate ones. What do you boys think?
Well, to be honest, well, it looks to me like it's the Grinch that stole Easter, really. I mean, yeah, he's turned in, and it's going to be a supply problem because the supermarkets, obviously, it's a whole truckload, and there might be a few supermarkets worth. I mean, they're small eggs, so people can go into the supermarkets. Oh, no Easter eggs on the shelf. Well, there will be, but not the ones your kid wants. Mummy, I want the Cadbury cream eggs. Oh, what about these? No, I don't want. You know how fussy kids these days. They have to have that specific egg, or it's not good enough. There's going to be tears. There's going to be dramas in homes. There's going to be it'd be diabolical. You got to think of the parents here, because anyone with more than one kid, it's it's not going to be a happy day in the household. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I thought he maybe got a tip off about all these eggs in storage and probably thought they were actually eggs. Actually real eggs from chickens, for some kind of free range egg setup, and he's been set up. He's got the wrong eggs. That's what I think. Like you were saying,
Yeah, that's quite possible. Yeah, I think that could be quite true, and I don't think we ever considered this, that possibly he was going for real eggs, but then he's all committed and gets in there. It's like, turns out the chocolate eggs. It's like he's committed now. He's got to end the heist. So I do appreciate the commitment to the role here on this. I think well done.
I don't know if the police will be saying the same thing, but I'm impressed. And it's a very unusual crime. I mean, it's not Ocean's 11, but I don't know. It's more of a Willy Wonka type Ocean's 11 crime.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, unlike Ocean's 11, this man does not seem to get away. So he has been caught. Yeah, so I don't know. What's he expected to be? Oh, yeah, that's not actually too bad. So it says he's expected to be jailed for about 2 years. Sorry, I was reading this wrong. It was for next month. I don't know.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably not. 2 years. That's a whole lot of eggs. 200,000. I don't know how you. I'm not good at the quick maths on this, but I suppose 100,000 eggs for a year. That's there's a lot of things I would probably do for that. But I'm not sure that I'd want to spend 2 years in jail. Probably not quite worth it, man.
That'd be a pretty good currency in jail, though, wouldn't they? Cream eggs.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking hopefully before he got caught, he managed to stash some, and maybe you can smuggle them in and use them to buy trade off for cigarettes or A-class drugs or whatever. Because I mean, you probably can't get things like that in prison. But yeah.
That is a good point, but if I was in jail and somebody offered me a egg-shaped chocolate, I would have some questions about how that got in there. That would immediately put me off wanting to sample anything like that.
You wouldn't know if it's melted chocolate on the foil or maybe something else. I'm not going to elaborate.
Oh yeah, I think there's probably no elaboration needed there, man.
Thank you for the top up there, Johan.
Oh, the boys have got to stay hydrated in these summer months.
Yes, absolutely. Nah, cheers for that, man. All right, what else have we got this week? There's a lot happening in this world. I'm sure we've got some other things here. Where are we at? Roof. Right, so we also have this story. Oh, actually, I want to be muted here, sorry. Oh, I am. Okay, so we also have this story come to us from the lovely, from the LBC. But this is coming from Santa Cruz in the US. Police warn locals not to approach man in Cookie Monster costume terrorizing the seaside area. So apparently the man who wears a costume of the beloved Sesame Street character has reportedly been creeping out visitors in the Santa Cruz Wharf, bothering them and aggressively yelling. One visitor to the popular tourist destination said it's the creepy monster, not the Cookie Monster. One person who works locally said he turned up the day Sesame Street character Lloyd Morissette died in January this year. So he's a return villain on this one. And Mark said, I saw him the day the Sesame Street character died. Like I told you, he was sad about that. He kept showing up and people started complaining about him. We were getting calls from people who say he is creepy. Based on the story, we advise the public not to engage with this individual, steer clear from him. Police have said the man faced criminal charges in other parts of the United States, but could not provide further details. They've received several calls about the Cookie Monster. The man hasn't committed any crimes and so can't be arrested. So just being an asshole, I suppose.
Traumatizing kids.
Well, it's the land of the free, you know. He's not committing a crime. It's his First Amendment right to free speech and to express himself. So I'm fully on board with that. I think he's starting a movement, you know.
What about the traumatized children every time they see a Cookie Monster figurine in the bloody Walmart? They're going to be freaking out. Oh no!
No such thing as bad publicity, you know. It's going to sell a lot of Sesame Street memorabilia. He's going to push Sesame Street to a whole new level.
100%. And at the end of the day, you know, this guy, for all we know, he might be one of those typical. I mean, it could have been a prank, but it could also be, I don't know, someone that might have, might be a little bit mentally unstable, and that might be his way of dealing with his issues. And kudos to him, because some people turn to drugs. Don't turn to drugs, guys. Just dress up in a costume and, unleash a little bit and, release all that tension and maybe terrorize a few people. And, yeah.
There's nothing like scaring people straight as well.
That's right. I mean, kids should be afraid of people in weird kiddie costumes out in public. I mean, once you're inside the gates of Disneyland, fully understand. Outside the gates, you're dressing up in that stuff unless it's a fancy dress party. That's a red flag. Get your kids away from it, even if they're not even crazy, because you don't want your kid in, getting snatched in a van.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried, concerned about like escalation here. Like, what's next? Are we going to have like Antifa Elmo? I think these furry creatures need to be stopped. I don't trust them. Lock them all away, I say.
I think this is what the creators of Sesame Street get for naming a character Cookie Monster. He's a monster. He's going to go out there, and that's what monsters do. They terrorize people. So I think really, if anyone's going to be in trouble, it's the creators of Sesame Street.
Got to live up to the name, Cookie Monster.
That's right. At the end of the day, monsters are wild animals. They can't be controlled. And as soon as the creator, unfortunately, was laid to rest, this man just lost control, and that's completely understandable. I think if you're not willing to feed a monster and keep him, well, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't have these people as pets.
They should be caged and well fed.
And not just cookies. A nice, healthy, balanced diet.
Yes. So, what else we got to talk about this week? One of the other things I was wanting to talk about this week, which I thought was always interesting, like as far as where we're heading in the future, a lot of times you can look to countries like China and Japan. They're a lot of the time more technologically advanced than us. And as far as technology goes, you start to look at where they're going, and that's generally you can see that's the path forward for us as well. But it starts to get a little bit of an area of concern, especially when it comes to the likes of social credit score and some of these QR scanning codes. So let me just hold on.
And all the conspiracy theorists will come out from their rocks, and well, I don't know you'd be allowed to in China.
Not without strict written permission, anyway.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a different world there, and so I've seen a few. I think we kind of get peaks here and there, and so this is some of the things that start to come out. So surveillance is everywhere, moving into the world every day. Some say that the days of true privacy are over, while others fear that we've gone too far and barriers need to be put in place. So I actually might have gone to the wrong clip here.
See, self-checking out with Face ID is not only a if you come to China, you see self-checking out with Face ID is not only available in supermarkets. It also works in a lot of penny shops now. Simply just look at the camera and just click confirm. Literally just takes seconds to check out. I know scanning your QR codes or tapping your phone does the same job, but this is just even better to me. So what's the reason?
It's like every service you're going to have to use, it's like going to a blooming airport.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think it's just a little bit of a concern. Like, okay, I can absolutely see the benefit, the convenience there is like you just walk in and look at a camera and scan it. But it's a little bit of a worrying trend when you're talking about places like China, where they have a social credit score and they're able to not only not only allowed to approve these things, but they're also allowed to cut you off. They decide they're not really liking what you're, things you're saying, things online, and you have to be quite careful over there. And it's amazing. I keep seeing little videos being shared, and it's amazing just how far it goes. To give you an example, this one here come to light, and so not only just the small mum and dad shops, you have to scan your face. It even goes so far as to if you were trying to use a public bathroom, And I just can't believe that this is actually real, but here we go.
You get the feeling that as this technology advances, it'll be able to recognize your ass cheeks, and it'll that's how it's going to identify you, and actually, instead of the toilet paper to conserve trees, it'll be like a, what is it called, a bidet or a
Yeah.
It'll be an ass cheek activated washing mechanism.
And I'm sure as the technology advances, they're going to have like a bidet system that will keep cleaning your bottom area until it can sense that all the fecal matter has been removed, and then it'll retract, and it'll probably have one of those Dyson hair dryer, Dyson hand dryers, that suck all the water off or blow all the water off, and it'll just be like a real high pressure fan that's, hair dries your bloody butt.
And even the next level of that is sort of like a bacterial cleansing using lasers. That would be the advancement of that. Exactly.
Yes, I was amazed. I was just concerned about them recognizing your face, but I had never considered that they're not actually going far enough, and that the next thing is they're going to actually be scanning and recognizing your butt. Brilliant place, China. They're always one step ahead.
Some might say one step behind.
Well done, Benjamin.
Yeah, well, for a country that's run by Winnie the Pooh, we really should have seen this one coming.
It's a shitty situation, but I'm sure it'll improve.
Quick way this video in from TikTok. If it ends up there.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that one, to be honest. But hey, while we're on to some of the spicier subjects, I did see there's a lot of AI videos going around at the moment, and some of it is absolutely hilarious. It's a little bit of a concern, I obviously, when they seem to be sharing images and voices of people that is completely made up. But this one was actually pretty hilarious. It's actually shared by Elon Musk himself, and we'll have a quick listen and see what you think. So here he is on Joe Rogan podcast.
So, Elon, recently you made an OnlyFans account. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure, Joe. So you may have heard that Tesla stocks are down the past year. So to recover a bit of cash flow, I wanted to share some tasteful nudes with the world.
So do you have your penis out on full display or what?
In some of them, yeah.
Okay, nice. In my own OnlyFans, I try to play around with strategic nudes. I don't mind showing my lovely nipples or having my stunning ass on display, but I've never had my cock out in full blast.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're comfortable with, right? I don't mind having my dick out. At home, I have it out all the time. It just made sense to share that aspect of my life with the world.
Definitely, Elon. I think I speak on behalf of the entire world when I say that we feel blessed with your beautiful, tasteful nudes. So, Elon, recently you made an OnlyFans account. Can you tell us a bit about it?
That is too good. That's well done. Whoever cut and edited that, that's good.
Words can't even describe. I mean, it's amazing how far this technology has gone and what it will be able to do.
Yeah, I think it's a bit scary. Like, obviously, if you can share something that sounds exactly like what they're saying, and it's they haven't said. But I'm glad that one of the first stops we went to there was the comical path, and that was just absolutely gold. And really kudos to Elon Musk that he has a good enough sense of humor that he could share himself in one of those. So I think that was really great.
So I'm curious if there's been any. Do we know if there's been any bad feedback from, like, obviously Joe Rogan or Elon Musk or Jordan Peterson, like, of them going, hold on a minute, we don't want to be displayed like that? Because I mean, some celebrities don't care. They're like, oh, it's just a parody. But some of them will be like, I don't know, we want to take legal action.
Yeah, I think someone like Joe Rogan would have a good enough sense of humor to take that, but I don't know about Jordan Peterson. He seems a little bit fragile at times, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be an interesting one to see.
Jordan Peterson definitely seems his level of maturity is probably the next level above Joe, and I think he wants to be seen as a professional. As I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I'd find it funny, but I think Elon Musk would even probably maybe have the sense of humor to not get shitty about it.
Elon loves the memes though, doesn't he? He loves memes, and he owns Twitter now, so he can get all the memes he wants.
He's like the meme president now.
Yeah, I don't think that's it's not too bad. I think more of the concern is around, and I have seen a couple of them now, especially with Joe Rogan. People will create snippets from his podcast, and they kind of have this voice software, and it'll be selling some supplements, products, or or some kind of cryptocurrency, and obviously there, I think they'll kind of have step in and have some real issues with that. But once again, how do you stop that? Because I think these things are just going to become more and more common, and it's just going to be another thing you won't be able to trust at the next ad that pops up on your screen, even if it's literally the person that somebody you trust, and their own words coming out of their mouths. It's like, no, that's not made up. Well, not true, I should say.
I think that's an interesting point you make about the cryptocurrencies, because when you think about NFTs, it's sort of more like a static image. What if NFTs can move into a more kind of fluid, dynamic kind of realm with your AI, voices, videos, faces, and things like that? I don't know. I think that could be an interesting development.
It's a scary world coming into, but I mean, like these celebrities. I mean, as soon as you get famous, I mean, you're opening up a whole world to being exploited. I mean, not always in a bad way, but like these parodies and comical things. I mean, it's to be expected, and people, funny enough, some people make a lot of money and fame just off doing this, and I mean, using celebrities. I mean, as soon as you create a video, whether it's good or bad, and you've got Joe Rogan's name in the title. I mean, it's going to come in the search engine as soon as you watch a couple of Joe Rogan videos. Well, what have we got here? As soon as they get some views up, it might be third on the list when you type in Joe Rogan. And next thing you know, they're getting famous. And yeah, people are watching Joe Rogan getting made fun of along with Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson. And oh, well, sorry, guys, but some people like comedy more than debates about sexualities and feminism and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think keeping the humour and those type of things is always important. It's a good way to convey kind of a message. It's a positive. I think any of these kind of new technologies that come along can be pretty scary at first. NFTs is something that a lot of people have concerns on because there's people that've made money, but there's people who've lost a lot of money in that kind of market. And I've only taken really like a surface level look into that, and I think there's some areas there that you could actually pretty legitimate and is something that would be exciting and part of commonplace in the future. And I think this is just another one of those. And I have heard a guy who's actually like a comic book creator, and he was really excited about some of this AI generated art. And he said, like, it's going to be really great. It's going to open up somebody who has some great ideas, but maybe not the technical skills to actually, produce some drawings or produce something themselves, can use this here and really quickly and easily produce a product that otherwise would never be created. And so there's actually a lot of positives there as well.
Job creation
could lead to a quantum leap in the sort of art and creation as you're going to open up the mind, really. And I know Elon Musk has talked about this with Neuralink, and AI is kind of a path towards that, using the power of algorithms and computers, to open up the brain and interface that with reality in the real world.
And whoever thought you could make so much money off a cartoon ape wearing aviators and smoking a cigar? I mean, I never thought that 20 years ago. I mean, I still can't believe it now. So,
That's a good point. It was going nuts there for a while there, and almost every celebrity's social media profile was the ones that made me laugh were they looked like they were like images created in Minecraft or something like that. They were like they looked like really cheap images, but obviously somebody had paid like a couple $100,000. It would be interesting to go through. I haven't taken a look in a while, see which celebrities still have proudly displaying their NFT images, and which have given it up now and realised that was a bit of a dud, and we're going to write off some tax money now because it was a big fat loss. All right, but anyway, for now, enough about the seriousness and the positives of technology. Back to some more comedy stuff. I am this one, maybe not the AI is so great, but the audio on this here is just absolutely brilliant. I've seen this a couple of times now pop up, and a little bit of language here, but this is absolutely brilliant. Oh, if I can. This is the former presidents and president battling out online. So,
one of you killed my mending villager. It's not fucking funny. Do you know how long it took me to get that?
Calm down, Sleepy Joe. I think it was Obama. He ran in the direction of your base.
What the fuck do you mean calm down? It took me 3 hours to get the right trade.
It wasn't me. I'm busy looking for diamonds.
Well, one of you is fucking lying.
Homie, I swear on my mother's life, it wasn't me.
Swear on your wife's life it wasn't you, Donald.
Okay, it was me. Don't come after me because of it, though.
You're done for. I'm gonna bed trap your ass.
You wouldn't fucking dare. I've got weapons of mass destruction, and you don't want me to use them.
Come on, homie, let's not ruin the server already.
Ah, Dorado. I love this map. Takes me back.
Is that you again, Joe, on my fucking team?
Oh, great. It's this guy.
Oh, GG, we lost. This is my rank-up game, too.
We are not even out of spawn doors, and this guy is already complaining.
Someone dodge, please.
You fucking interlock Zen again, and you're gonna feed again.
How many accounts do I have to keep fucking avoiding?
You are not beating the hard-stuck Masters allegations, Don.
That is so cap, Joe. You know, I was having a really good day today.
Don't care.
Went golfing, hit a few holes in one.
Don't
Wanted
care.
to solo queue some Overwatch to end the
Don't
day,
care.
and I see fucking Bidenator in my lobby just to ruin my...
That was brilliant. I get it probably took someone so long to cut and edit that and use AI voices and all the rest of it, but well done. That's made my evening. That's A class.
yeah, the Bidenator right at the end comment is just absolutely gold in my opinion, and I absolutely love that. And I'm all here for more of this, more of mocking celebrities and especially politicians. I think we need every laugh we can at the moment, and I just love how good it is. It just sounds exactly like them. Probably not so much Joe Biden because he's not tripping over every second word. But you know, and he's got full sentences in there. But other than that, I'd say it's spot on for accuracy. And now I really want to see. I want to see a live stream with President. We don't need presidential debates on TV. Nobody wants to hear that. We don't need to hear. What we want to hear is hear them battling out over Overwatch or Minecraft. Even I don't care. I just let them talking smack to each other online. That's far more entertaining, and I'll get a better opinion of whether I want somebody to run a country purely based on their smack talk on an online game. That's all I want. That's going to make me happy, and I think that's what the world needs right now.
Well, they're already talking about, Nikki Haley is talking about the mental performance tests for over 75s for any office, and this would be the perfect way to do that if they just had a sort of a gladiator battle across, various esports. Then you just see how toxic they can be and how they can perform under pressure in a team and all those kind of things. I think it'd be great, way better than the spectacle of a debate.
It'd be like having an annual performance review. Like they just once a year get on the game, jump on Discord or whatever, and we can just hear how they can deal with conflict in a virtual situation. And I think it's going to be give us much more better idea, like you said, Benjamin, than running around and campaigning and spending millions and billions of dollars of handing out flyers and kissing babies. I really like this option a lot better.
Who do you think would have the best stream? Would it be Trump? Probably Trump. I think he'd dominate. I think he'd dominate. He might not be the best at the games, but he'd definitely have the best flame and the best toxic chat and the biggest ability to put his opponents off. I think.
Well, in my opinion, I'm actually going to back Biden on this because I think he would come up as the most improved player. Because at the end of the day, I mean, purely based on him, like was mentioned before, is him being able to string a sentence together. People are going to be, oh, actually, he's got his shit together now. The dementia's the dementia's somehow worn off, and oh, look at him, he's being able to string sentences together. He's actually illiterate now, and well, people are going to, he's going to probably get more respect from people that didn't have it from him in the past, especially the youth, Gen Zs. They're going to love him. You're going to get the votes from the youth, and he can well easily do another term if he goes down that avenue. And yeah, I'm going to back Biden, but I reckon, yeah, Trump will be a close second.
He's at a good underdog story, really, doesn't he? Because he's kind of a dithering old man in a lot of ways, and people love the underdog, and also they've transformed his image, and he's kind of this caring grandfather, and it'll be quite what's the word, endearing almost to see him playing games. And I think you've got a point there. I think people would probably side with Biden over Trump in that esports arena.
I'm not too sure. I think for a man who falls going upstairs into an airplane and can't sometimes manage himself, I think once people see him walking around in circles on a game, a good old classic game of Fortnite, and he's just dying, walking off a cliff. I think people might realise that maybe handing them the reins to a country and a nuclear arsenal might not be such a good idea either. I'm not even sure, because so confident that Trump would be any better on that, but the smack talk would be worth it. At least he could assassinate over on the commentary, which would be really worth it. I'm trying to think on if we would apply this to New Zealand politics, what that would be like. And I think what would we have? Would have somebody like Winston Peters. I don't know if he's still running at the moment, but he's still around there. I think he would be somewhere in the corner walking into a wall, but he'd be looking good at least, and he'd have some fine words there. What are we going to have?
Well, I was thinking Jacinta with, I mean, obviously, as we all know, and it's been made fun of in the past, she's got quite a two big rows of teeth, like they stand out like dog's balls. And I think, those 2 rows of teeth would come out like a blooming Viking shield wall. So like, I'd be going with Labour. I'd run behind Jacinta, 2 big rows of teeth of like a Viking shield wall, and they can just start firing arrows from behind her. Jacinta's made her own shield wall. And independently, by the way, normally it might take 20, 30 Vikings to make one of these shield walls. Nah, not Jacinta. She's got one here, pearly whites. Nothing can go through them. The arrows will be bouncing off her teeth. And
are you talking about her like metaverse avatar or something?
Oh yeah, 100%. You turn it into more of a, exaggerated Sesame Street character type thing. Maybe something like Snuffleupagus the elephant, but like with a massive grill and something like that. I'm sure we could, because the Snuffleupagus had the big blooming eyelashes, and we can maybe shorten the nose a bit and just biff the teeth out and just make it look a bit more like her.
I'm not even sure where to go with that, to be really honest. That just the Labour Party probably would try to make a giant vehicle of some description with Jacinda and pilot that to victory. I don't think that one's going to float, but it would be interesting to see nonetheless. Once again, I still think this is better than the current system we've got of debates that nobody wants to listen to. Yeah.
And you could also, I mean, going from that article before, the guy that stole the bloody Cadbury truck with all the Cadbury cream eggs in it, I mean, you could use that as a Trojan horse. You get all the politicians in there, and you have the Grinch that stole Easter, turning up with all the cream eggs. You've got Jacinta in there with her big grill, and they'll open the door, and, you know, they can start firing as much as they want, but those teeth will be right behind the door, and then they can have Cadbury cream eggs, and start biffing them out, and, well, I'll tell you what, it'll be a hellfire, and they won't be expecting it either.
Well, I really, just based on what you've said, I really hope they do something about this Three Waters, because I think maybe there's some LSD that's been spiked the water supply with these fanciful notions, Johan.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. No comment.
Awesome mushrooms.
Yeah, well, I think that might be us for tonight, fellas. But hey, thank you very much. This has been great fun, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back again next week with more laughs. Anything you guys want to say before we head out?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, we're not going to go tell you. I've been telling you to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You do what you want to do. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And thanks very much for Benjamin for joining us. It's nice to have a third person and a bit of input we don't normally get. Probably brings the intelligence level up a little bit because, yeah, I usually bring it down when I start speaking. But yeah, it was great to have you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I enjoyed it.
Cheers. All right, guys, we'll be back again hopefully next week. Thanks. Good night.